Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, The Shamanic Onion. My name is Raven. I am your host today. And this is where we talk about all things metaphysical, spiritual, personal, and holistic things. I like to talk about herbalism, and I do tarot cards, and sometimes I paint. And it's been a really great experience to just be able to get out of my comfort zone and show up on camera for you all. But today we're going to be dabbing into some astrology. So if you're ready to click off on this video right now because you're like, oh my God, I don't do astrology. Hold on. I will explain the basic parts of astrology. And I will let you know that I was also like that at one time. All I knew was my sun sign. And then actually when they discovered the constellation Ophiuchus, I fell into that category of being an Ophiuchus sun. So if you don't know about Ophiuchus, Google it, come back. Let me know if you're an Ophiuchus starseed. But I would look up on Google what each of my placements were. And if you've never looked up your birth chart or you're not sure about it, just go to astro.com and get a free birth chart or natal chart. Sometimes it's called natal chart. And look up your big three: your sun sign and what house is it in, your moon sign and what house is it in, and your rising sign. Rising signs are always in the first house. But we have had some crazy astrological transits lately, and Mercury retrograde happens all the time. But I feel like this time it was paired with the eclipse. It had some crazy amount of roller coaster rides, ups and downs, and learning how to read your own emotions, I think, was a big theme for me, at least, in this Mercury retrograde. If you have a third house placement, say it's your sun is in your third house, then you would Google, what does Aries sun mean in the third house? And so on my journey, when I was learning astrology, or really just about myself, I would Google all of these things. What does Saturn in the third house mean? What does moon in the 10th house mean? And then you can understand yourself through astrology and maybe have some aha moments. We live for those. I love aha moments. I've had so many myself, and one just recently about some products I want to offer on my tea website that I'm building. And I'm really excited, but I also have to make sure that I'm grounding those ideas, just grounding them into reality, maybe not so impulsive. Aries is very impulsive. The tarot card for Aries is the Emperor, one of them. And the Emperor sits upon his throne, and he's draped in red. Red is the root chakra. And here looks like he's chilling, but there's an underlying energy there of like surprise, like test me and you will feel my wrath. That is a little bit of an Aries vibe. And so what I wanted to do today was just talk a little bit about the energies out there, what I've been seeing in the collective. You know, clients come to me and they either need some form of shadow work to be able to look at themselves and separate themselves from their emotions, to be able to observe how they're feeling from a neutral point of view. I really do believe that it helps just to be the observer of our life and to understand that even though we're humans, we're kind of animalistic. I don't mean that in a bad way, because animals, they survive at all costs. They let nature take care of them. And I believe that over the few hundred years, we forgot that we also need to trust in the process. So Mercury retrograde can affect all kinds of communication. It can represent car trouble and flight delays. It can also represent how we communicate with each other too. When I think of Mercury retrograde, I feel like, oh, I said that, but I shouldn't have. That's a lot of what happens to me during Mercury retrograde. And then you put Aries, fire, moon. We just had an Aries new moon. So it's all about setting intentions and just moving forward with a childlike wonder, understanding that we can all come together and support each other, understanding that we have flaws, that's okay, and just going for it anyway. This is about the 12th time I tried to record this video. I got halfway through and I realized that I wasn't even recording. So maybe you can have some fun during this Mercury retrograde and just understand that making mistakes is a good thing. And learning from those mistakes is beneficial. Getting out of your comfort zone. It's okay not to be perfect. It's okay. So I want to pull some cards. Let me get a sip of my tea. Great Spirit, please cleanse my energy to give clear and guided messages to the collective for their highest good. I call on my spirit animals to help guide me in the right direction for this reading. I, Raven, am a clear channel for spirit to move through me. So we'll just get general messages. I don't know how many cards I'm going to pull. We're using the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck here, and then we'll pull a couple cards, maybe just one. I'm feeling just one closing message from the animal deck. Great Spirit, this is for the collective. Please give me clear and guided messages for the collective during this Mercury retrograde of April 2024, the year of the dragon. In numerology, it reduces down to a number 8. The infinity, the all, the divine, the one. We want to become more like her. Ooh, 6 of Wands, celebration. This card here is just talking about being honored for a completion. And I really do feel like it speaks to our shadow work. We even got like a gray colored horse. He's kind of gray colored. And he's got the red harness on, which is this beautiful grounding energy. And the man is wearing a green type of wood crown with leaves. And I believe that it speaks to me on a level of shadow work. I just keep hearing shadow work, that we have completed most of our shadow work to be enough to be able to move on for better things to come. Maybe you might be getting ready for graduations, weddings. It's almost wedding season. Maybe you might be getting married yourself. Wands are fire, lots of energy, and just understanding that your lessons came to light. You were able to understand what you were going through. The sun, fertility, all things growing. It's spring here in the Northern Hemisphere. And there's just an abundance of energy out there that we can take advantage of. Maybe some of you are thinking about getting pregnant. Maybe some of you are already. And there's just this beautiful course of action that you can take here. And being supported by the divine. And connecting to that childlike energy that I mentioned, approaching everything with a childlike mind. 10 of Wands, lots of fire here. And you see this guy here, he's picked up all he can carry, but he is still moving on, still moving. These are all the wands that he can carry. And really, I think that speaks to a level of surrender. I feel like this is a card of knowing your limits. How much can we take, or how much should we take from others, right? Setting those boundaries and understanding them and then implementing them. Boundaries are to protect us. If the other party doesn't like when you enforce your boundaries, that's on them. Never, ever give away your personal power, because then you'll need a shaman to go retrieve it for you. One more card. The Six of Swords. So just moving away from drama. I feel like the collective is going to understand that this is dramatic. It causes me stress, and I care about myself. I'm ready to move on from that. Also, maybe some of you are traveling. Maybe going on a cruise. Somewhere sunny. Oh, I'm hearing that some of you are moving on to, in another job, in another career, and just leaving the drama behind. I guess we'll get one more card since I'm shuffling. The World, completion. And I really love this spread of cards here. Okay. We got all of these, and it's telling us a story, right? I think this is telling us all the things that we've been going through since maybe October. I'm hearing October. There's a part of reflection here. We got the celebration card at the beginning and the world card, which is new endings, new cycles. And I really just feel like all of these, it's like a up and a down and an up and a down. This emotional roller coaster. Happy, sad, happy, sad. So it has been pretty rough with this Mercury retrograde. This is a Mercury retrograde reading, and it really does show a evaluation of what we need to see in ourselves in order to be able to move on. Maybe you are healing your inner child. Okay. Maybe you are moving from somewhere. The world card here, there are 4 of the astrological signs. We got Taurus the bull, Leo the lion, eagle, that's an air, the Aquarius man. I'm not sure what the eagle means. I just drew a blank on that. But here you got the young lady. She is holding her wand and she is confident and she is being celebrated. So we have like 2 celebration cards here. So look for the light in the dark because it is always there. I promise you that even if it's just a little flicker of light, it is still there. And just walk in that neutral space of observing your feelings, recognizing that you are a human with empathy and bravery, and never letting anyone take that from you when you understand yourself. Then you know who you are, and nobody can tell you anything different. When I was having some difficult times in my life, I understood that I didn't know myself very well, but I was letting other people's opinions about me really just sink into my skin, and I was believing that. And I understood that the universe is going to show you the mirror, and what they saw in me, they also saw in themselves. And that goes for toxic and not toxic. So I went through a spiritual awakening, and I was just amazed by what Spirit was showing me in my meditations. And when I was able to call back all of my personal power over all the relationships I've had, all the places that I've lived, it felt freeing. I felt a level of freedom. And nobody can take that away from me again. And I am free to fly into whatever dream that has been waiting for me, discovering my brand, even expanding out and doing custom tea blends I love so much. I really just am happy with the process. It's taken about 4 years now. It was my Saturn return. I had a big eye-opening experience. And I can never thank them enough for opening up my eyes and realizing that I didn't want to be around toxic energy anymore in all of my life, in all the areas in my life. But I started a spiritual practice, made sure I wrote in my journal frequently, meditated often. I started practicing Wicca, an earth-based magic practice. And I learned that when I was able to recognize my own energy, I was able to feel my own energy, my heart space, and just sit in that gratitude for the present moment. Everything that's important is happening in the present moment, right here, right now, as we speak. The past was 1 minute ago. The future is 1 minute from now. And we can appreciate our mistakes. Okay. I feel like I'm being too serious. Let's get an animal card. Woo, Big Mama deck. So the way that I honor this deck, some people read in reversals, and that's fine. I read reversed the cards, but this deck, I keep all upright. It's just easier for me to keep them organized. Oh, it's easy for me to shuffle. What's great about it is that some of the meanings on the cards are down here too. So snail is pacing ourselves, keeping it steady. And then the opposite of that is this coiled energy. And we are understanding that about ourselves. It's okay to have our space. It's okay to go out and have fun, and just finding that group of people that respect you for that. Understanding that, oh, she needs a self-care day. That's cool. Or maybe we can reschedule our plans so when you're feeling better. I mean, just having that community of understanding people, empathy, people who understand that I need to take a step back, and then just supporting you in everything. So yeah, snails, what? They show up at night, right? They're kind of night creepy crawlers. Cutest picture ever of the snail. Very curious looking. I feel like he is curious. I'm going to read this from the book and see what word spirit brings me to. You know, snails carry their homes on their backs. So having that amazing protective energy vibes no matter where you go. Maybe this is speaking for when you are out, and then you might, if you're sensitive, you might feel that coiled energy because of the energy around you might be a little bit negative, but you know where to go for your peace. Or maybe something like excusing yourself and going to the bathroom, doing a little protection prayer, if I'm out and I need that kind of protection, I will, because I don't have my sage, although I should carry it in my purse. If you're going out and you need that protection, if you are saying you're feeling overwhelmed and there might not be a place to just have a quiet moment, I envision sage burning. And what does that feel like? It feels cleansing. So then I automatically start stepping into a cleansing type of energy. Smelling the sage, what does that feel like? And just picturing myself at my altar and finding that peaceful moment, bringing it into the chaos that you might be in. So visualization is, we're going to talk about that too. It's one of my favorite ways to read energy, to manifest. I do a lot of manifesting with visualization. Being in that moment, what does it feel like? What does it look like? What can you touch? You know, so just going into the bathroom, something like that. Maybe it's just sitting at the table and just closing your eyes, saying a quick protection prayer, visualizing yourself protected, your aura is whole, and then might help you feel better. So the snail says, while it's natural to equate the snail with slow movement, this trait need not reflect laziness. Rather, moving forward at a conscientious and cautious pace often keeps us out of serious trouble. To get from point A to B, snail has a special slime. Snail's body is slick, sliding it over surfaces that would otherwise deter progress. This equates to greasing the wheels in human terms, something that deters friction. Snail asks, what best lubricates your inner gears, keeps them going strong? A unique feature of the snail is an ever-growing spiral-shaped shell. Spirals appear in sacred writings and in art as an emblem of evolution, cycles, and the distinctive cyclical nature of time. Snails carry this potent, energetic image throughout its life, while content in knowing there is a time to every season. Perhaps this is why the ancient Greeks consider snails a harbinger of the harvest. So that's exactly what I was saying. Understanding that every road goes somewhere, picking the road that is meant for you, and knowing that you can not only protect yourself with visualization, you can ask your ancestors to protect you in that moment, and just keep going. That's what I'm hearing. Keep going. Thank you, Great Spirit, for all of these amazing messages during this Mercury retrograde. We love you. We know you're always guiding us. Please continue to protect and guide us throughout our soulful journey. So I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit of astro knowledge for you, a little bit of tarot cards for you, and just know that this is a safe space. If you do so, feel inclined to come and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I try to stay active on those 3 platforms. If you want to chat with me personally, contact me through my email, theshamaniconion@gmail.com. and any of this message resonated with you, please feel free to smash the thumb and subscribe to my channel. So until next time, lovelies, please stay grounded and know that I love you